everyone. It's a very beautiful Sunday afternoon. We welcome you to Maritime and Border Show on VOP 90.3 FM. This is where we look at the industry, the blue economy. We look at, the customs. We look at the Nigerian Ports Authority. We look at the Shippers Council. So we try as much as possible to bring the importers, the transporters, and everyone involved in this industry together. The whole idea of this program is to create an avenue where we can discuss of this industry that has so much potential. My name is Prince Francis, and
my name is Dele Utomi. Yes, Francis talked about deepening of discussion within the maritime sector. Of course, that includes the border areas too. And we are here to bring you everything that you need to know, everything that you should know, every voice that matters within the maritime and border sector of the Nigerian economy. And of course, as usual, today we have a long-standing member of the maritime sector. He is a trader and importer of repute, and very experienced, and he's a leader of men within the industry. Of course, we shall be introducing him to you in a moment. For now, we of course have to go through the news, the things that made the news in the course of the week. Francis.
Yeah, a lot happened during the week. A lot happened. A lot went down, and the beautiful thing about it is that in all of this, the customs, the NDLEA, the Shippers Council, the police, everybody was working, hand in gloves. Everybody was working towards ensuring that we have a safe and sane society.
Sure.
Tinkan Customs foils drug smuggling attempt worth 5.3 billion, hands over substance to NDLEA. The Nigerian Customs Service, Tinkan Island Port Command, has made a significant seizure of illicit drugs worth 5,304,000,000 concealed in imported vehicles. The Tinkan Command Controller Frank Onyeka, while highlighting the seizures last Friday, stated it was a testament to the command's resolve to safeguarding Nigeria's borders and ensuring compliance with international trade regulations. He revealed how the command intercepted 2 containers laden with motor vehicles used to smuggle the illicit substance, which were subsequently handed over to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, for further investigation and prosecution. The rate at which drugs, arms are really coming into this country is alarming. And, kudos to the Nigerian Customs, kudos to other agencies who have been working very closely to ensure that they rid this society of drug and other substances.
Yeah, Francis, it was an eye-opener. I was actually at the press briefing where these illicit drugs were handed over to the NDLA. And for the first time in my life, I was able to saw what they call hashish oil. I've never seen that before. I've never heard that.
Did you test it?
my God. Bros, it was so, we were told that the jar, just one jar of hashish oil, is worth probably half of the total value of what you just saw now. That hashish oil, just the jar of it. That means all these drugs are now being compressed into a small oily substance that's just in a jar, and then
shipped into the country.
And they are shipped into the country. But like I said, kudos to the different agencies of government that are involved in trying to protect the national economy and public health. Now, moving further, PTML Customs Command nets 116.24 billion naira, hands over seized pharmaceuticals to NAFDAC. The Nigerian Customs Service, NCS, Ports and Terminal Multi-Services Limited, that's PTML Command, has netted a revenue of 416 billion 243 million 603,670.58 naira into the federal government coffers from the month of July to September 2025. That's the third quarter of this year. This collected quarterly revenue figure, according to the command, is 34.3% higher than the 86 billion 586 million 12,733 naira 43 kobo that was collected during the third quarter of 2024. The command also revealed that it intercepted and seized fake pharmaceutical products with a duty paid value of 200 million naira. The Customs Area Controller, that's the CAC of the command, Controller Joe Anani, disclosed it during his maiden press briefing in Lagos on Friday. The CAC said that comparative analysis of our revenue performance in the last quarter shows that the command has maintained a steady increase in collection. This is happening despite the teething challenges of the Bodogu platform, which we are fast overcoming. 3 months to the end of 2025, the command has made 96.64%, almost equated the total collection recorded in 2024. This is also good. 3 months before the end of the year, they made about 96.64% of the target revenue for themselves. Or equally of mention, the Tinkan Island Port Command also said that in that press briefing that they have also reached about 78% of their total target for the year.
Yeah, I think for me, yes, it's a good one. The federal government is, the revenue drive is well, but the question we should ask is it commensurate?
With the development.
Yes, it's commensurate. Also, how is it affecting the people? Because at the end of the day, if all the custom is doing is about revenue, and nobody's talking about the price that the people have to pay for this revenue to come into the coffers of the government. So I think it's something that should be looked at into this thing. The government needs to look at it seriously and be able to find a lasting solution to it.
Yeah.
NIWA launches massive operation to clear water hyacinths in Ikorodu waterways. The Lagos Area Office of the National Inland Waterways Authority, NIWA, on Friday deployed a task force to mop out strategic operational measures aimed at tackling the buildup of water weeds, popularly known as water hyacinth, around the Ikorodu axis. The move is part of the proactive efforts to prevent the menace from disrupting boat transportation and other waterway activities in the littoral communities. The NIWA team, supported by heavy-duty equipment, including swamp devils, harvesters, and other relevant machinery, has commenced preliminary clearing operations around Ebute Ikorodu and Ekpa Kodo ferry terminal. The exercise is intended to ensure that the waterways remain navigable and free from obstructions caused by the invasive aquatic weed. I mean, it's been there like for ages, and this is something we have not been able to find a solution to. I really don't know how we got into this whole situation.
Yeah, I learned that they are not finding a need for a use for this water hyacinth. I learned they can be converted into some kind of gas, gas for either for cooking or for other uses. It's high time we start putting this water hyacinth that comes occasionally to invade our waterways into good use, rather than just having them being moved away from one place to the other. Now, Nigeria leads sub-regional push for ACFA-ready trade and transport systems. As Africa edges closer to realizing the promise of a single continental market, policymakers and trade experts in the West and Central Africa region are converging in Lagos to address one fundamental question. That is, how ready are the continent's ports, corridors, and shippers for the African Continental Free Trade Area, that's ACFTA. From October 29 to 30, 2025, the Nigerian Shippers Council, NSC, in collaboration with the Union of African Shippers Council, UASC, and under the auspices of the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, will host a sub-regional seminar and meeting for Standing Committee number 1 on Trade and Transport. The theme, the readiness of countries of West and Central Africa in the implementation of the agreement establishing the African Continental Free Trade Area, the role of shippers' councils, underscores the urgency of aligning regional logistics frameworks with the operational demands of ACTA. The success of ACTA depends on how efficiently goods can move from borders. It puts shippers' councils at the heart of the conversation, ensuring that logistics, pricing, and policy harmonization work hand in hand.
Yeah, this is a good one. For me, I just think that anything that would ease the stress people go through in being able to do their trade, as well as getting the Nigerian Shippers Council to be on top of its game. I mean, I am all for it.
Yeah, a lot of questions are being asked about: are we really ready to, embrace this African Continental Free Trade Area? Are we ready in terms of all the necessary things that we need to put in place? That question will keep coming up. Maybe the experts in the studio will get to talk a little bit about it when the time comes.
All right, Comptroller Adenuga laments multiple checkpoints along Badagry semi-border road. I mean, if you remember last week, when we had assistant controller, isn't it?
Yes, assistant controller of customs.
Yes,
and the national PRO.
Yes, when we had him, he talked about this. He made promises. He told us how the CG has directed that only 2 checkpoints be maintained. But as it is, the Customs Area Controller of the Nigerian Customs Service, Semi-Command Controller Wale Adenuga, has expressed concern over the proliferation of checkpoints along the Lagos-Badagry corridor, describing them as detrimental to trade facilitation. Adenuga described the numerous checkpoints as a major obstacle to seamless trade, warning that the situation could discourage genuine business transactions within the region. In his own words, I want to categorically state that we have far too many checkpoints operated by various security agencies along the Badagry axis. Most of these checkpoints should not exist in the first place. This development is quite embarrassing and could have serious negative implications for the country's economy. The business community may begin to shy away from trading with Nigeria due to these unnecessary bottlenecks, Adenuga said. According to him, only 2 official checkpoints, Gbagi and Agbara, are recognized by the customs management, while the others are illegal and counterproductive. I mean, we can't stop talking about all this. And I think now the customs have taken the bold step to reduce theirs to 2. And then we expect that the Nigerian police and other agencies on that axis should do the same. I mean, it doesn't make any sense that you just have a lot of checkpoints,
lined up along that
route. And this is an international route, so something needs to be done. I give a kudos to the CG of the Nigerian Customs, who has reduced the checkpoints to 2, and I want to use this opportunity to call on the IG of Police, to please call your men to order.
My brother, last week when we talked about this, I said something. I was at that press briefing where they said that, of course, the customs checkpoints have been reduced to 2. And, of course, during the question and answer session, we asked the policeman in charge, one of the policemen that came there to the place, was asked a question: why do you still have so many police checkpoints along this route? Of course, he categorically he defended the police checkpoints there, that the law says that the police has a right to be in anywhere they want to be, in as many numbers as they want to be.
No, I say this is don't go further. I think this is where the Nigerian police is getting it totally wrong. Because if the Nigerian police claims that they have to be everywhere and anywhere the way they want, they should go to the northeast, where bandits and terrorists are terrorizing. Yeah, they should go to Kwara State. They should go to where there is a trouble spot and be able to say, we as Nigerian police, we are here, You cannot continue to decimate the Nigerian people. But, standing on international rules and, hindering facilitation of trade, for me, is unacceptable.
Yes, it's an eyesore, my man. A whole lot of people complain. I go through that route a couple of times. I have written about it, about these checkpoints. A colleague just wrote about it about 2 weeks ago. Proliferation of checkpoints, especially police checkpoints along the road. You count nothing less than 12 checkpoints in the day, and I learned by night it becomes double. It's an eyesore. We need to do something about it. Now, moving further, anti-smuggling, FOUA Customs intercepts hard drugs, hands over to NDLEA. The Federal Operations Unit Zone A of the Nigerian Customs Service, NCS, its operatives intercepted a substance suspected to be hard drugs along the Baji Semen Road. According to a statement issued by Hussaini Abdullahi, Chief Superintendent of Customs and Public Relations Officer, Federal Operations Unit Zone A, Ikeja, Lagos, he said that the controller of the unit, Controller Mohammed Shuaib, made the disclosure during a brief handing over that took place in his office on Wednesday, 22nd October 2025. According to Controller Shuaib, the interception took place at about 7:00 hours on the 17th of October 2025 when a patrol team acting on credible intelligence apprehended and one Uduak Monday. The suspect was reportedly found in possession of a nylon bag tightly wrapped with sellotape. Upon examination, the contents of the bag were discovered to be ice crystal methamphetamine weighing 25 kilograms with an estimated street value of 562,500,000 naira. While receiving the exhibits and the suspect on behalf of the chairman and chief executive of the NDLEA, the commander of narcotics, Lagos State Strategic Command, CN Abubakar Liman, was quoted as commending the collaborative efforts of the Nigerian Customs Service in the fight against hard drug trafficking. He said, the contributions of the NCS in the ongoing war against drugs trafficking are remarkable. We will continue to update the units as the trial of the suspect progresses in court. And this is a very commendable one.
Yeah, but I honestly, I don't know.
It's becoming a terrible thing. Virtually everybody wants to go into the business of drug that's hard drug trade. It's terrible.
I think to a large extent, maybe because our laws are not punitive enough. Maybe because people do a lot of things and get away with it. Somebody will say, I'll go and do my time. And that's why when Mr. President came out with his the list of those he had granted mercy, and people saw drug barons and all of that on it, that's why Nigerians are screaming. You don't expect that the NDLEA will go out of their way, the Nigerian Customs will go out of their way and arrest people who are pushing drugs into the country, and then Mr. President will wake up and grant them, pardon. So we need to have a stricter law that really punishes people when they, especially those who are moving drugs and arms. See, you need to go out there and know the number of young people that their lives are being ruined. Yes.
It is terrible.
NSE, NPA, partner on Nigeria's marine and blue economy development. The Nigerian Society of Engineers, NSE, and the Nigerian Ports Authority, NPA, on Friday agreed to technical partnership for sustainable growth of the nation's maritime and blue economy. NSE President Mrs. Margaret Okuntala, during a courtesy visit to NPA's Managing Director, Dr. Abubakar Danshoho, in Marina, explained the importance of engineering excellence to the marine and blue economy sector. She used the occasion to invite the NPA boss and his team to the Society's forthcoming 2025 NSE International Conference in December, tagged Engineering Innovation for a Sustainable Blue Economy. Responding, NPA Managing Director, Dr. Abubakar Danshoho, said 70 to 80% of personnel and operations of the ports revolves around engineering and engineers. He assured collaboration with the NSE to move Nigeria forward while giving examples of countries who made remarkable progress through partnership with his engineers. I mean, this is good.
It's way to go.
Yes,
to go.
we
Partnership.
hope something comes out of it, not just paperwork and too much of talk, but we hope that there's a practical follow-up with this kind of meeting.
Yeah, moving on. Truck falls off Oshodi Bridge. Last man rescues injured victim. Restores traffic flow. The fully loaded six-tire truck on Friday plunged off the Oshodi Bridge in Lagos after reportedly suffering a brake failure, leaving one person severely injured. Operatives of the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority swiftly intervened, rescuing the victim and restoring traffic flow around the busy corridor. According to eyewitnesses, the truck, with registration number AKD 135YK, was descending from Oshodi inward mile 2 when it lost control and veered off the bridge, tumbling into the terminal ditch below. The vehicle was said to be carrying several tons of printing materials at the time of the incident. LASTMA officials arrived at the scene within minutes, rescuing a male victim who sustained serious injuries. The injured person was immediately rushed to a nearby hospital for urgent medical attention. The truck driver was later apprehended and handed over to the officers from the Makinde police station, Oshodi, for further investigation into the cause of the mechanical failure. I think we as a people should continue to be very careful in the way we do our things. These are people that vehicle inspection people,
VIO.
the VIO. They should be more, they should be more open doing when it comes to taking care of the job of making sure that the vehicles apply the roads are roadworthy. I mean, if this vehicle was in good shape, there's no way it could have plunged from top of the bridge down to hurt somebody below the bridge.
Okay, now that you're talking about the VIO and all of that, what you find out is that the VIO is more interested in private cars than commercial vehicles. And you see, when you turn an agency into revenue generating, they lose focus. I'm happy with the way LASTMA is working. I'm happy with the new management of LASTMA who have reduced the revenue drive and ensure that they spend more time doing what they're supposed to do, which is traffic management. So I give kudos to the LASTMA management and I give kudos to the LASTMA team. They've been doing quite a lot. But then if you come to VIO owners, and all of that, harassing them and intimidating them. But then these rackety buses, these rackety trucks, nobody does anything about it.
We shall get there one day.
NCS launches digital vehicle verification system to curb smuggling, enhance transparency. The Nigerian Customs Service has launched a new digital verification platform designed to curb vehicle smuggling, enhance transparency, and strengthen accountability in the automobile importation process. The initiative, known as the Customs Verification Management System, CVMS, was officially unveiled on Monday, 20th of October 2025 at the NCS headquarters in Abuja by the Controller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi. Speaking at the launch, CGC Adeniyi described the initiative as a milestone in the service's ongoing modernization agenda, noting that it closes long-standing loopholes in the vehicle clearance process. For years, verification of imported vehicles relied on fragmented and outdated methods that left room for misinformation, fraud, and revenue leakages. The launch of the system is another score on the board for our bold transformation agenda, CGC Adeniyi said. He explained further that the CVMS was developed in collaboration with the Trade Modernization Project, TMP, and local technical experts to provide a secure and transparent verification process accessible to all Nigerians. According to him, the digital platform will significantly reduce the circulation of smuggled and improperly cleared vehicles while boosting government revenue. Let me say, the CG of Customs. The man is full of innovations.
Yeah.
It's like every week something new comes up.
Yes.
We already have the
Yes.
one-stop shop. We have now we have the vehicle regularization and all of that. We also have the POW, and everything is like indigenous. I mean, it's kudos to him.
Thumbs up for the man.
Yes, it's kudos. But with all of this as well, those who are importing, those who are clearing, are still saying the systems are not yet perfect. They haven't gotten to where they want them to get to. But in all of this, we ask the customs to take steps to ensure that with these new innovations, importers do not have to pay more in terms of demurrage and all of that. And we also ask agents to please learn how to work with the Nigerian customs.
Yeah.
All right, this is VOP 90.3. We're still on Maritime and Border Show. This is Prince Chilaka.
And this is Dele Utomi.
We're live on all our social media handles. You can go to our YouTube channel and watch us, and then put your thumbs up there, ask your questions. We'll soon be opening our phone lines as we progress. Don't forget, those of you who already have the phone lines, you can start dropping your questions. We will attend to them as we move.
Yeah. Welcome back to the program. This is the Voice of the People Radio with our program Maritime and Border Show with Dele Utomi
and Prince Chilaka.
We have a guest at the studio today. He is Comrade Chinedu Kato. He's the president of the Ndibwamaka Progressive Markets Association, a body that is an umbrella body for about over 50 market associations within the country. Mr. Comrade Okato is an importer, he's a trader, and he knows the maritime sector like the back of his hands. He's been doing business for decades, and he's here to answer a whole lot of questions that you, our listeners, have to ask. And he's also here to throw more lights on so many things that we need to ask him questions about. Comrade Okato, you're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah, please.
Yeah, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
All right. You're welcome, sir.
So, Comrade. Okay. I want you to react a little bit to some of the things we read out here today. The question of about the checkpoints on the road along the Semi Road. What do you have to say about it as somebody who's a trader and who's an importer? What do you think about what they are trying to do? The customs have reduced the number of checkpoints from the number it was to 2, but the police and the other agencies are refusing to reduce the numbers. What do you think, sir?
Actually, the thing is worrisome. It's worrisome to every Nigerian, every trader, every importer. I've been applying that route for decades now. And each time they will come up with one reason or the other. That was the time it was more than 30-something checkpoints on that route. And there was the time free forwarders protested, and they even protested about what was going to happen there. These things affect the cost of goods that we are bringing in.
Sure.
The thing continues, and kudos to the CGC, the new CGC now, Wale Bashiwala Deni, because I got to a worrisome stage that I have to leave some of my groups to his office sometimes some months ago.
Okay.
And I went personally to his office to address the situation. I asked Mr. CGC, are you aware of this? And sincerely, and with due respect and regard to him, he said he's never aware of that, but he assured us that the next couple of days he's going to tackle it. And lo and behold, within the next 3 days, and the custom checkpoint was reduced to 2. And the complaints we are still having there is about some other agencies of government. You should see the quarantine there, you see police, you see other agencies, and I ask myself, what are they doing? Are they clearing the goods? What are the policemen doing? Policemen are supposed to be majorly on hinterland, where the armed robbers are disturbing people, where the terrorists are disturbing people. In fact, they are supposed to even be in Sambisa forest. But what we find out is that they are at that place. So my brother, if you ask me, the problem we are having there right now is the police. The police has seen that place as a business center. In fact, some of them have dug some oil well along that road. That even if you ask me, I will tell you that some of them even bribe a lot of money to be posted to that very place. And I think the way we went to CGC of Customs, I'm mobilizing. Very soon we are going to approach Mr. IGP Betokum. We want to ask him some questions. If he's aware of this thing that's happening, I need to give us some reasons. But if he's not aware, he should act on it. Because it's the way they kept deaf ears on the whole thing. It seems that they are aware of that. So if it's a business center, maybe we demand that we, the traders, should get our own share from that business because we are traders. We can't be paying for something we are not getting any impact on. So it's worrisome. Right now, I can tell you, as of today, we have two custom checkpoints.
Okay.
As of today, as I speak with you. But now there are proliferation of police checkpoints, quarantine, NDLE and others there. Immigration and others. I think immigration should be in the border. Once you enter the town, I don't know what they're doing in the hinterland. Exactly. If you should be in the border, when you're in the border, once you come inside, I don't think we've been all over the Western world. We don't see police. In fact, the last time I traveled, just last month, I was asking myself, is there police in this country? I rarely see police. So what are the police? What are they telling? Even the foreigners who are coming to invest, some of them don't want to go by road. By mere sighting of those policemen can scare them away, they may not come again. So it's affecting business negatively, and it's not facilitating trade at all. So we need to ask IGP about some questions.
All right, I'm talking about checkpoints. If you're driving towards this place, you know that there's a checkpoint just a few meters from the international airport, and people have been asking, is that necessary? And then if you follow, there's a new this new bridge that brings you back to Oshodi. If you're going to my tomb, before the one at Second Rainbow, on top of the bridge, you see policemen. Now the thing is that you see policemen, you see area boys wielding all manner of sticks, and you're asking, what is going on? What kind of country are we running? Is it that the commissioner of police is not in charge or is not aware of what is going on? So when people talk about this whole thing about checkpoints, I keep asking, why do we have too many checkpoints and yet crime is not abating?
My brother, I continue to maintain this is worrisome, and I don't want this thing to make me not to sleep again. Because each time I think about the whole of this thing, I get worried. A few weeks back, I came back from Johannesburg in South Africa. I was in South Africa, and when I went there, when I was going up, and I was asking friends, is there any police in this country? Why is it there no crime? They said they invest a lot of money in security. Yeah. And virtually, there are conventional policemen and there are unconventional policemen. Everybody there is a policeman. Okay. And you see cameras. Before you do anything, in the next 1 minute, you see police there. But you rarely see them. And I ask myself again, in Nigeria here, every Monday you go to police stations, they are having lectures, they are having trainings, they are having whatever. And they are still the same problem since I was born. And I ask, are we the cause or are we cause?
Are you saying that Nigeria has become a country of the youths are the leaders of tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes?
What only tomorrow come? Because you say we are talking about, they are even learning more than us. They are even learning the negative part of it more than us. So even the youths now, they even are grown youth that they're talking about the youth. So we are always learning negative things because those of us who have gone beyond you, what do we leave behind for them? We are talking about police. Do you know, are you not telling me that if the DP of a station inherits a rotten situation when he was a cadet and he gets a DPO, do you think he's going to change? He will continue with that system, he gets to the top. So I'm there to understand how we are going to solve this. But we are going to solve it if we are holistic and sincere. If we are sincere, the money we have in this country, if we invest it in security, what is wrong about putting cameras everywhere, surveillance cameras? Policemen are not supposed to stand on the road for God's sake. For speaking out loud, what they're supposed to do is to stand by the road, stand in their control room with the cameras or whatever, monitor whatever that is passing on. Anything that drops on the road, you're there. Even the helicopter, their drones, they are supposed to be working. But because of the corruption that has eaten deep here, everybody wants to collect his own on the road. I saw most of this, and even while I was coming here, I saw about 3 checkpoints there. After this one, another one. And I was asking, what are they really checking there? And the same checkpoint, a kidnapper and armed robber will pass the same place. I think there's something fundamentally wrong.
All right, sir. Let's talk about the major reason why you're here today. We're talking about importers and their roles within the maritime sector of the Nigerian economy. what are really the roles that you guys play within the Nigerian economy? Sir, you tell us with your own mouth, sir.
The role importers play?
Yes.
Well, first of all, I must have to differentiate or categorize what you mean by importer. There are importers, there are traders.
Okay.
There are importers, there are traders. And when you mention about the traders are the real driving force. Okay. The real driving force. They influence trade flow. They are the demand drivers. When you talk about the importers, they are the career importers like me, who import every time and sell. So I'm an importer and a trader. Then there are accidental importers. What I mean by accidental importers, like a friend like you that can travel to China and see one thing or the other, and say, I like this, let me just bring it. You load it in a container and discuss with your forward and bring it there. And they are one-off importers.
Okay.
One-off importers is a career civil servant or a politician or someone who just travel and see something somewhere, he buys and want to sell. After selling that one, the next one he report will be in a decade. Okay? So when you talk about the role of these importers, I'll talk about the role of career importers. They play a significant role in the economy. For the economic growth, you cannot do anything without the importers and the traders. Just like I told you, they influence the trade flow.
Okay. Now, when we talk about imports, you import these goods, and of course they are cleared at the customs at the ports, where funds are generated for the government. Different tariffs are being paid, through the processes. What is your relationship? How good is your relationship with the various authorities and your clients, the people who clear the goods that you import?
Well, like I always tell people, the relationship between an importer and a freight forwarder is like they are like Siamese twins. And let me repeat it again. The relationship is like a lawyer and his client.
Who's the lawyer here?
The lawyer there is the freight forwarder. And I'll tell you how the lawyer is the lawyer.
The
freight forwarder is the lawyer. Yes. Because your lawyer stands in the court to defend you. And you're the complainant. You have the case. You have everything. In fact, you're the one who they injured. But somebody has to stand there.
Yeah.
And I always tell people that lawyers and pilots are the same thing. When pilots tell you get ready for landing, you don't have any say until you see yourself on ground. If you throw you inside the ocean, that's your business. And lawyers will tell you as the court pleases, you can't say anything. So the same thing with freight forwarder. You're not there. He is there representing you. He's the custom licensing agent. He will tell you today that look, the system has changed. We have to get this. We have to get this. What an average importer needs is for that goods to be cleared. And I will tell you he has some disadvantages. And that's why I'm having a whole lot of issues. Seems that the marriage is not going smooth. But the relationship has been cordial for those who are not ignorant of certain rules and regulations guiding the port system. So the relationship has been cordial. You cannot do without the freight forwarder, and the freight forwarder cannot do without you. Likewise, the shipping companies cannot do without the shippers, and the shippers cannot do without the shipping companies. So the relationship has been cordial, but there are some teething problems or some challenges we experience once in a while, which is normal. Maybe on the course of this program, I can be able to come up with that.
All right, so looking at, you've tried to define who an importer is and who the trader is. Yeah. Now, going forward, we've had severally, we've had some guests who have come here, we've had questions put to them, that the importers mostly, or most times, don't carry the agents along. They don't tell them, they don't give them full declaration of what they're importing. Do you agree with this?
Well, that should be 1 out of 100. I may not totally disagree. I may not totally agree. Okay? The reasons are we have there are individual differences. And there's one language when nobody say personality trait. Everybody has his own behavior. But I mentioned earlier for those who are not ignorant. And don't forget the fact that they are ignorant ones.
Sure.
Somebody might want to cut corner. Just like some people will go to their lawyer and decide to lie to them. At the end of the day, they will end up having problem in the court. So some people may decide one way or the other not to carry their freight forwarders along. Some freight forwarders the other way around may decide not to like the man to carry them along for them to do it their own way to cut corner. So it's pari passu. So I believe that some of them do that, but majority carry their freight forwarders along when it comes to the real issue of importation. And I'll tell you one thing, and that is exactly what we stand for and we keep on fighting. Most of these importers and traders under this my jurisdiction, some of them are ignorant of what's really happening in the maritime sector. They're only interested in you delivering the cargo to them. And whatever that happens, the freight forwarder determines his fate. And I'll tell you that I've been objecting to that. That's why most of these conferences you see us organizing is to acquaint ourselves and get these relevant agencies close to us for us to be aware and sensitize us what's really going on. So if there's any issue, we'll take responsibility, and we'll know the one that freight forwarders will take responsibility. Because there are certain things that will happen in the maritime industry, and the freight forwarder will say, well, I'm not aware. But the real sense of it is aware, because he knows that the importer is not even aware. And some of them equally use some opportunity, I must have been frank with you, to exploit the importers. And they're exploiting the importers as a result of ignorance. All I needed is how much last. When is it getting to my warehouse?
When is the cargo coming?
When is it coming? I need to sell. And at the end of it all, I will tell you for free that we are making a mistake. When they exploit you, the result that effect is the masses, those who are going to purchase that good from you. And then the hardship will continue. I think that's, I will tell you I disagree and I agree. So it's not everybody.
All right, so I'm still going to hold you down there. I want to understand what is the relationship. You run an organization. You belong to an organization, and I hear about 50 different trade unions.
Nice.
You know, under
Market association.
Market association. I mean, that's a big number.
Massive.
Very big. So with this kind of number, what has the relationship between your organization and Shippers Council been like? Because as an importer, you cannot run away from the Shippers Council because you deal with the shipping lines. And it is expected that as a Nigerian, as an importer, that the Nigerian Shippers Council should protect you, at the same time protect the shipping line. So what has this relationship been like?
Well, I will tell you for free that Nigerian Shippers Council can don't run away from us.
Running away?
Yes,
sir?
Yes, they have not been collaborating with us, the importers. Maybe as a result of ignorance, or they are not aware. Let me tell you. Most go to inside the markets. When we talk about market associations, we have a lot of markets in there, and that market is where the importers and traders are domiciled.
Yeah.
That is where we trade our goods. Okay? Now, go inside that market and ask them what is called Nigerian Shippers Council. 90% of them will tell you we don't know. Go inside that market and ask them what are the rules of Nigerian Shippers Council in Nigeria. 90% of them don't know. Then ask Shippers Council, how many times have they organized sensitization? Because I know part of their mandate is to sometimes organize educational training, human capacity building between the shippers and whatever, and sensitize them on the rules they're supposed to play. Ask them how many times have they done that. I don't think so. But most of the times we hear on the pages of newspaper, you're reading now, NSC do this one, Nigerian Shippers Council do this one. We are just hearing it over the radio. We are the real shippers. I'm a shipper. We are the real shippers. Now, some time ago, 2022, when I got about this information, I wrote Shippers Council myself. Since people are not sensitizing us and coming close to us, we are having a conference, or market conference. All the importers, the traders will be there. Come and let us discuss. Let the people exactly know what you stand for. Because the freight forwarders have been the intermediary, but this time around we want to do it directly. Because the freight forwarders are like we are their customers. Mm-hmm. Okay? If we don't buy, if we don't patronize them, they don't sell. Mm-hmm. So we that are selling, come, let us discuss. That first one they ignored, they did not come. Second one in 2023, I wrote on behalf of the organization, we want you to come. Even they are the one that's supposed to be sponsoring such a thing. But we did that, I wrote. And in fact, we are infuriated, and all of a sudden we started hearing issues that are supposed to, come from them that we're not hearing. We heard about the cargo defense fund. And we ask ourselves, what is the fund defending? And what is the cargo defending? What is the real meaning of cargo defense fund? We are having many interpretations from the press and everything, and I wrote to the executive secretaries requesting for a meeting. And lo and behold, I led some of my executive members and all market leaders to the Nigerian Shippers Council. I listed a lot of demands. I need to have at least your rules, some questions, and how you're supposed to be protecting the cheaper. Because I know you're even supposed to be regulating tariffs and trade, tariffs and rates in the port. Today, everything is escalated. And I don't know what are even your CSR, social responsibilities, as regards these importers and traders. And finally, most of the times we've written to people to attend our conferences, they said I should write again when we are doing the next conference and they need to come. But that letter I wrote, up to today, they didn't respond to me officially. Nobody responded to my request.
Where was that, sir?
I think I don't have it. I don't have it on, but I know it this year, and I wrote last year. So nobody responded and asked issues about this cargo defense fund and what is it all about? Because members are asking, they need to know. Sometimes they will be blaming the importer, they will be blaming the trader.
What they say the cargo defense fund is for?
Nobody has answered me. If you ask me, I will throw it back to you. Okay. So recently, I think some of you were there just 2 days ago. We had a conference and we wrote to them and they assured us that they are coming. They came and delivered paper. They just delivered paper and left. We're still trying to follow up. But what am I trying to tell you the other way around? Are we the one that is supposed to chasing them, or are they the one that is supposed to chasing us, telling us what it's all about? So if for now I can tell you that relationship is not cordial at all, because I can't really understand. I've not really seen where they are promoting the interests of the shippers. The shipping business is like a mafia business. And when you look at it all, the international shipping companies are even exploiting. I may not go from there, exploiting the situation. What have the Nigerian Shippers Council really done? If they've done anything, we the shippers, are we informed? Let them prove to me where they've organized anything in any of the market or any of the where the importers are domiciled. I said, we are doing this in common, we did not come. Or let them know, tell us when they've invited us for a meeting somewhere or any educational sensitization and regards their role when you come to shipping. Nowhere. So I don't want to dwell much on that, but just to tell you that relationship is not cordial.
Okay, so sorry, Dilly. Still on that, we heard about the glitches with the Odogu new platform, which the Nigerian Customs Service has promised they're looking into it. But in between the glitches, importers like you severally have been complaining that the glitch caused by Odogu, they're making them pay more to shipping lines in terms of demurrage. And I recall that at one time the CG of Customs had said that there was a meeting going on between the Nigerian Shippers Council and the shipping lines to tell them to, waive some demurrage because it's not the shipper or the agent's fault. How have your group benefited from that?
Well, let me be honest with you. If you ask me, Chinedu Kato, that is sitting here, what is actually BOW, do now I will not answer you. What is actually BOW? And what are the operational techniques of BOW? Do now I will not answer you. You know why?
Why?
When some of these policies are introduced, we are not carried along. Kudos to the CGC because it's a professional, for its professionalism and for its innovations. But they need to do more. When I said the freight forwarders are the intermediaries, they basically deal with the freight forwarders and regard all these things, which we are not, yes, it's not a problem to us. But they are supposed to be a tripartite stakeholders forum when it comes to issues like this. When you are aware, I'm aware. Things will work on smoothly, business will facilitate. Exactly. But when you are aware of what is going on, I'm not aware, and you want to carry me along on the regulation, don't you think there may be issues? For example, when you give what the importers know, deliver this cargo to my warehouse, and you come and tell the person there's a glitch in BOW, we start abusing you. You've collected my money, don't want to deliver. Do you know why? Because he don't even know what is called BOW. His own is for you to deliver no goods to you. I'm aware of those glitches because as a result of my exposure, I've been working on that and confronted. But what about others? Recently, when I heard about that BOW, I wrote to the CAC, kudos to the young man that is that workaholic CAC.
Which command? Okay.
Yes, Frank Oyeka. Yes, I wrote him. I give kudos to him. He's a workaholic. He wants something to work. I went there with my escorts to have a meeting with him. And actually asked him, the essence of the meeting is, how are we going to partner and see that all these things, we want to be compliant, and see that all these things are working well. So there will not be these issues of having glitches between the freight forwarder, the agent, the custom license agents, and we. And that was where the BOW and all the issues were mentioned. And I told him, we are going to have a conference. We need more sensitization on this. Please, the customs should come. And I even went and had a meeting the CGC. I told him that we need to have regular sensitization on this BOW. And that was why in our last conference, you see where we wrote the theme of the conference is how to empower trade union or revenue collection and modernization. How do we get these things done? I have not seen where this BOW of an issue where have been sensitized properly. So for an average importer, when you are hearing about glitches, it will look like test by moonlight. That the freight forwarder is telling you test by moonlight. And I will tell you actually it's bringing a problem between the importers and the freight forwarders. Because if they're actually educated, all hands will be on deck to make it work. Because we are the one holding the yam and holding the knife. Yeah. Whoever will cut will give. But when you refuse to cut and then you don't see any yam to eat out from that place, there's a problem in the kitchen. So I think there are some, let me use this opportunity to thank the CGC, but they need more effort, more sensitization in collaboration with us. If there are more collaboration and sensitization in all these things, I think there will be a seamless effort. If there are any glitch, everyone will understand it and will see how to partner and tackle it together. There are glitches everywhere. When I will conduct an election and say there are glitches, if you know that will not have glitch.
So, sir, you've not been able to benefit from the agreement reached on the payment of the demurrage.
Has an agreement been reached?
I'm not aware if any agreement has been reached. And if any agreement has been reached, I'm not aware of that. And I will tell you, I've not benefited, directly or indirectly. But if I've benefited, somebody should correct me and put it note to me that I've benefited. I've not benefited. I still have a consignment in the port today.
Okay.
So I have not seen anywhere, except if I'm benefiting somewhere and someone somewhere is exploiting the situation. I need to be educated on that.
All right, sir. I want to take you back to what my colleague, the question he asked before, as regards the issue of importation. We keep hearing, like one of the things we read here about drugs being seized at certain commands. Why do we have this proliferation of drug imports within the Nigerian, society? I mean, you are into importation. Why do you think people now do that?
I'm not an importer of drug, so I wouldn't know.
But you are an importer, sir.
I import legal. I do legal business. I'm not an illicit dealer, so I wouldn't answer you. Why is it like that? We should be able to answer the authorities. Why is it like that? Who allowed that thing to flow in? What did it happen? How? Somebody is supposed to be held responsible. For somebody, it's just like in every part of the world, you cannot rule out people who are illegal and people who are legal. But coming to ask me why it's like that, you're supposed to send out your question to the authorities concerned. But for me, I'm a legal importer. But if maybe I'm an importer of drug, if you ask me, I can be able to answer you very well. I'm not an importer of drug. So maybe that question should be taken to...
And you don't intend to be?
I don't even intend to be. So it should be taken to drug dealers and the authorities. Let them answer.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Can we...
No, we still got time. We're still on VOP 90.3 FM, and this is the Maritime and Border Show. We have with us our guest, Comrade Chinedu Okato, who has been throwing light on the relationship between the importers, the marketers, the Shipping Council, and the Nigerian Ports Authority. Now, sir, I'm going to come towards the Nigerian Ports Authority. How is the relationship, especially with, what is happening around the ports for importers?
You are still throwing back to some questions I've already answered. Most of these agencies are not having direct relationship with importers. Basically, what they do is to engage the freight forwarders, and the freight forwarders engage us. And that's what I've been saying here. They are supposed to be a tripartite kind of relationship.
Okay, so
it's a seamless business.
If this relationship is not there, who should we hold responsible?
Of course, we should hold the government agencies responsible. They are not. I will say it here without fear of any contradiction. They are not being fair enough.
So, like somebody said, a lot of them are sitting on their hands in terms of their responsibilities. Is that what you're saying?
A lot of them are doing what?
Sitting on their hands.
Well, I don't know whether they're sitting on their hands or their legs. But all I say is that the sensitization is not enough. If there's no budget for that, there should be budget. But I know there's budget for those things. What is in there is sensitizing people. You were part of the one who did. We spent our own money.
Yeah.
And we invited all of them. Even to the extent that we went Abuja to invite the Federal Minister of Trade, Industry and Investment. Along the line, even the director that was detailed to come. I will say it here publicly. Refused to show up. Even when he's supposed to be dealing directly with the trader, telling us on sensitive issues that we are supposed to know, on key policy, government key issues, key government policies, because they're the policy makers. He refused to show up. And you expect us to be happy about that, and you tell me not to indict someone? Someone is busy sitting on his leg and his hands and maybe playing around with what is going on. So you should hold the government agencies responsible. They are supposed to be having intermittent sensitization with these importers and traders, so to be aware of what is going on. That's the problem we have. I remember those days when we are young, and when we have what is called NOA. I mean, in the nation, the federal government has a National Orientation Agency. Yeah. They were busy then. These institutions like this orientation agencies need to be set up in all agencies of trade to be liaising with people like all the stakeholders, these importers, especially our organization, to be sensitizing us on key government issues of policies, so that will be carried along. So if you achieve most of those things, I will tell you there's no tripartite relationship. Otherwise, if there's that, I'll be able to answer you and I'll tell you things will go on smoothly. That's what we've been propagating for.
Okay. You've been talking about tripartite, a relationship that revolves around the importer, the government agencies, and the freight forwarders. And then I'm asking, could it be that the government feels that because they want to protect domestic production, maybe that's why they don't see the need to engage importers?
How are they promoting the domestic interest? I don't understand.
Yes.
Like encouraging export of.
Do you know that some of us are exporters too?
Okay.
Do you know there are certain sensitizations and rules and guides will give us and certain directions will give us, and I will drop importation and go to exportation if the atmosphere is friendly. Recently, I visited the Raw Materials and Research Development Council in Abuja just a few days ago. I was invited and I went to their pilot scheme. And I observed that with our raw materials here, we can produce everything and even we'll reduce the load of forex and we'll go more of exportation. And that's exactly what I'm trying to go. What if those who have not invited us and did something like that for decades, I don't even know that there's a pilot project like that, where even the raw materials to produce POP, to produce soap, we'll get it from Nigeria from scratch to the finished product. Okay? Things like that. So if you're not engaging us, if you say you're promoting the domestic, then you have something in your cupboard you're hiding. But on the course of discussing one, you can get to two. While you're discussing importation, you can get exportation. So I don't think, I may not really answer you what their reason for not doing that. Maybe someone somewhere is protecting his bogus allowance. I don't know. Let me just send it.
Are you saying that the system is corrupt?
Well, you cannot hear it from my mouth. You know whether even the leaders in Nigeria are corrupt. So are you going to tell me whether the system is corrupt? If the Nigerian system is not corrupt, I don't think we'll be complaining. You know, but I started just like I give kudos to the CGC. The CGC is doing very, very well. But I keep on telling them, I told them that the traders under my decision, they want to be compliant. But let me tell you and let me say it categorically clear. I want a situation where everybody will be compliant in terms of doing business. Well, some of those officers don't even want us to be compliant because they want to cut corners. If everybody is compliant, heads will roll.
Exactly.
Heads will roll. Quote me.
Roll in what way, sir?
Yes, now because there are a lot of people that are benefiting from that, and even the officers on the desk that will not benefit what they are supposed to benefit. They are afraid for that they are importers. But the genuine people will enjoy it. Let us all be compliant. I'm ready to make sure that my people are compliant.
But that is what the BOW wants to do.
Exactly.
And that is what the BOW want to do. Who knows exactly what the BOW want to achieve? And I ask somebody, Odogu means what Odogu means. Odogu, know what the Odogu means. An achiever. So since we are an achievers and we are the Odogu they are talking about, let them come to us and tell us what Odogu want, what they want Odogu to do, and we Odogu will do what they want Odogu to do. But when you call us Odogu and you're not carrying us along, we can pretend not to be Odogu now. We'll be answer.
All right. Let us, as an importer, what is your take on tariff? Because people are complaining that the tariffs keep going up every day. What are your expectations as an importer when it comes to tariff?
I don't even know how to express that one because that has been a monumental issue that even I don't even know how to start complaining about. You see, when we are talking about the cost of goods, some people start blaming the traders, blaming the importers. It is what you buy, you sell. You make your profit. There's no template for determination of this tariff. Even the forex they are using to determine this importation is whatever they decide they wake up every day and do. And I hope if the BOD will come up with such things to reduce some of this and we have a way. Let's talk I heard about this national single window.
Yes.
Which the sensitization has been going up now. And I give kudos to them because they've been reaching out to us on the need to engage us. National single window need to engage us. And when we're involved, we know, and I believe that if the national single window is holistically implemented, it's going to take care of these tariffs. Because from the little I heard about it, before you import, you see categories of tariffs you're going to pay. And you click. And you know exactly. So the reason why this thing has been going up and down is because there's no template for determination of tariff you're paying. This one comes up today, the next minute they come. Before you know it, you cannot even. A lot of people are out of business today because as a result of the exorbitant rate of clearing containers, they cannot even be able to clear their container. It becomes a problem. Okay? So it's worrisome and it's affecting us. And I hope most of these policies, if carried along, we can be able to get it right.
Yes, sir. You just mentioned the national single window. It's funny because the national, the Bodogu system, the software application for the customs to do their operation is going to be also embedded in the national single window. So I'm surprised that you said that the national single window project people are carrying it for along, doing meetings and all those. The lesser one, the Bodogu, which is supposed to work with the national single window, you're saying that if we're not carried along, how?
Yes, the national single window, not that we've had any, they've informed us about the issue and they've been proposing for a stakeholders engagement for us to know more about it. Okay? If by the time they come, we're able to marry it and see how both of them, because just like you said, I'm aware, but what about others there? Right now, what I mentioned, have reached out to us, just like I mentioned that the customs have reached out to us too. By the time we had these conversations, the average trader and average importer, because just like I told you, the traders influence trade flow. Okay? If they are aware and if they are not selling, importers will not buy. But if they are aware the policy is guiding these things and the importers are well guided, you can see the business flowing. So for now, we've not been able to discuss intensively with the national single window. I said they've just reached out to us about national single window. So by the time we get close and start discussing, all what I'm propagating and the gospel I'm preaching here is the agencies of government need to carry us along in most of these policy decisions as concerns trade facilitation for a seamless exercise. That is exactly my preach.
Okay, sir. What are the real factors that influence your decision as an importer to maybe not to be able to clear your goods and allow it to become an overtime cargo? What are the main reasons?
The main reasons of what?
Having goods, cargos going to become overtime cargos.
Well, the main reason sometimes, like I will tell you that I had from the agents, I'm not a freight forwarder.
But you are an importer, and these are your cargos that are allowed to go into.
I'm an importer, but because as a result of inconsistent policies in this clearing, most of us lost interest. Let me be honest with you, because I am a bit of a front talk. Most of us lost interest in issues as regard the processes in that port. All what we know and we are concerned is get this cargo to my warehouse.
Okay.
And you can see that the freight forwarders are even having issues because by the time the freight forwarder is very sincere, telling you, you have a glitch somewhere here, there's a demurrage somewhere here, you start shouting, my friend, I'm not interested, get my cargo to my warehouse. You see where I'm talking about the tripartite sensitization. If I'm aware, you are aware, there will be seamless the same. When there's issue like that, the freight forwarder come on with complaint, we raise up our own complaint, we go to the agencies that is concerned and confront the challenges together. For seamless exercise, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay, so you would like a lot of information.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we're still on VOP 90.3 FM. This is the Maritime and Border Show. And it's time we're going to open our phone lines. Your questions, your comments, we'll be entertaining them. You can reach us on 0700 903 903 903.
Or on 081 717 563 38.
08177563338 is our WhatsApp number. You can reach us on there. So you can call in, send us a message by WhatsApp, whatever questions you have for our guest, and be rest assured that he will attend to it. So coming back to you, sir.
Yeah.
We're still trying to understand why an importer. He asked a question about overtime cargo, and the way you answered it, it was like it's in the hands of the freight forwarder, but it's the goods of the importer. So don't you think that the importers are not showing enough zeal, follow up on their goods? Because at the end of the day, if the goods go into overtime cargo, it's not the business of the agent. He's not the one spending the money. It is the importer. So why is it that the importers are not taking it personal, as far as that is concerned?
Well, I will blame the importers halfway. Okay. And I'll still continue to blame the agency. Why would I go to the court and say I want to defend myself when I don't know the technicalities in the court? Want me to go there and mess myself up? I will always dance to the tune of the lawyer. Whatever the lawyer tells me. But if the court made it dominant, these are the rules and regulations guiding this court, as a witness, as a whatever, these are how you're supposed to go about it. Okay? Most of the importers take it personal when it gets out of hand. You see them coming inside there, but that is 1 out of 100. You see them coming to know exactly what is happening. But if you're being told about these processes and it gets out of hand, you come in to salvage the situation, even help your freight forwarder to get it right. That is exactly what I'm saying. So it's on the part of the importer because we're ignorant, so to say, because nobody is telling us, go to do it this way, do this way. So we now leave everything on the hands of the freight forwarder. And the head freight forwarder is suffering it. Sometimes when he's under pressure from the other agencies, he will battling it alone. Sometimes they spend their money. And by the time you want to transfer the money back to the importer for him to pay, it becomes a problem because he's not aware. Most of this is you're saying he's not aware of it. So that is a problem.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Dr. Bashir Albi, a stakeholder in the industry.
You're welcome, sir.
First, permit me to appreciate your efforts for educating the stakeholders in the marine and blue economy.
Thank you, sir.
Generally, maritime. I want to appreciate your guest for his, let me use the word insistence for his organization or association to be recognized. I want to talk particularly on the aspect of our Shippers Council that he talked about. He told the world via the radio station that in so many instances he sent an invite, but they couldn't attend. That he even wrote a letter. But at the end of the day, he said he sent another invite they attended. To sum it up, he said he didn't tell us here, the listeners, what did he discuss with them. He said he just presented a paper and left. That is heartbreak, that is break, and that is not communication. And there is no fairness in that. Then coming back to my question is, permit me to ask him, is he talking on behalf, is he a registered shipper? If he's a registered shipper, an importer, he should have belonged to any of the state association, maybe Lagos State Shippers Association. It shouldn't be an island on its own. You don't expect, for instance, with due respect to my president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to be interfacing with every Nigerian. He interfaces with the governors. Governors interfaces with the local government chairman. Local government chairman interfaces through the councillors and the rest. So in every we have shippers association that gather all the shippers for importers and exporters. They speak with one word. But I can understand he just wants his own personal association or the association he gathered to belong. Well, that is a good idea if he can come and then be with those the associations that are recognized instead of blaming some agencies that are doing their statutory assignment 24/7 and records are there.
So you have asked too many questions. Let him take them so that he doesn't.
No, I want your station to always maintain fairness, please.
Well,
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
With due respect, Dr. Bashi, I learned from you from Chippers Council. And when you ask me whether I belong to any association, I belong to an association which I'm the president by the special grace of today, the special grace of God today. The name of my association is Ndibo Amaka Progressive Markets Association, umbrella body of over 58 major markets associations in Lagos, where the chippers are doing their business on a regular basis. And you ask me about association in Lagos, say chippers or whatever. I don't know any other association you're talking about. And if you're on the Chippers Council, you look into your records, you know that I've written severally. And if we are not recognized, I don't know why I should write. And I was invited by your executive secretary with my members to come there and discuss. And they said they want to be dealing with us and sensitize us, since they will not be hearing anything. So, but if how to categorize or deal with chippers is by going to an association and belong to a different association altogether, apart from where you belong, I don't think it's fair. And let me put it like you refer to our dear President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that I deal with local government. There are issues that will call the president go directly to where is affected and attend to that. It doesn't necessarily mean that you attend to the governor because the president of all everybody in the country. So why must the president wait till the governor get to that place? He's the president of everybody. If there is a disaster somewhere, the president goes there and solves the problem. True or false? Now, if the Chippers Council are for the chippers, what is the reason why the Chippers Council will not identify every chipper? If there are 20 organizations that are chippers that are part of you recognize, you encourage that, rather than telling me that we should be in one association before you attend to us. Don't think you're not fair to yourself. Don't you think the Chippers Council is not fair? I'm not trying to say, what I'm trying to say is that we are not being carried along. And for you to tell an association to go and belong to another association, I don't think we are fair. List as many associations you want that are chippers and attend to them and attend to their problems for us to work together for mutual benefits. Thank you.
There's a question he asked. He said during your last conference, is it a conference or workshop?
Yeah, it's a conference.
Yes. During your last conference, you said you invited the Shippers Council, and they were there. You said they just gave their paper and left. He said you didn't tell what kind of what they gave, what was it all about. He wanted you to tell them that, oh, this is the promises, or these are the things, the areas that they covered in that paper, and were they there for question and answers?
We have a communique. We have released a communique in regards to that conference. And I'm not a computer to download whatever they said that very day. They presented their paper, and actually they presented their paper and left. It's for us to peruse it. We've done our communique and look at it and see areas we are going to agree with them or disagree. Okay? Just like he rightly said that I should tell him what I want. I'm not in a position to say it now. If he's a member of the Chippers Council, he should be was there to know exactly. He should be part of the system. He should know what exactly they came there to do. He should be able to tell us what they are coming up with going forward based on the presentation they made there. Not asking me what they said. Can't you sit out of place?
All right, we have a message from AJC, George from AJCT. He says, sir, thank you for the enlightenment, but even if you are not into illegal importation, you can tell us how obnoxious it is and the implications for incriminating. Implications or incriminating, because many feel that they can be pardoned later if they involve themselves into it. Please, how can they decongest ports in Lagos? How do you think the ports in Lagos can be decongested?
Yes, the congestion of ports is adequate clearance procedures. If you clear goods as at the time of arrival within the next 24 hours and there's no encumbrance, what will somebody's good be doing there? And let me reiterate it here, and let me say for somebody asking, when I said I'm not an illegal and I've never wished to do so, means that I'm disassociating myself from anything illegal.
Definitely.
So whoever that do anything illegal should be able to face the music. We are not protecting anybody. We preach it every day in our meeting and everywhere we are doing. So we are not illegal. But if you go against it, be with my father, my mother, my sister, if you do anything that you face the music. So but for the congestion of port, we are talking about clearance procedures and policies and hindrances. All we're talking about checkpoints. If you have 20 checkpoints and you're clearing go from Cotonou coming here, and maybe there are people raising bottlenecks at some border, I don't think there will be a cluster of containers there. And but if they make it seamless, that most of those things are not there, you clear your goods under 24 hours like it done all over the world.
There's a very funny message here from Soldier. Soldier is from Ojo. It says, Nigeria police is a curse. I swear my children can never inherit that job if that's the only job as far as Nigeria is concerned.
No.
I mean, he has his right to say what he wants, but you know,
they are a very good policemen.
Obviously,
very good policemen. I've encountered a lot of them.
Now that we're talking of the police, let me
Nigerian police are best all over the world.
Let me use this opportunity to commiserate with the Nigerian police, the IG of police, and especially the First Attack division where the DPO, where they just lost the DPO. It's very painful. And, I mean, very energetic, very hardworking woman, you know, but death has occurred, so may her soul rest in peace.
There's still another message here. Okay.
Good afternoon, comrade. What is the name of your association and where is located in Nigeria? In the port?
The name of our association, like I mentioned, is Ndi Bamaka Progressive Markets Association.
Also, hello, good afternoon.
Yeah. My name is Ishaq.
Please move away from your radio, sir.
Yeah, switch off the radio, Mose.
Okay.
So my name is Ishaq.
Go ahead, sir.
I appreciate your guest. It's really very well.
Thank you, sir.
Not that I can say by now, but it's really very well. But please, I'm begging you, please, one day invite the Nigerian police to come and explain all those things that is happening. All those things, chicken that they are putting in necessary chicken food. Please invite them one day to come and speak.
We're working towards that.
Sir?
We're working towards that.
Please, thank you very much. I'm very appreciative.
There's another question here. It says, what can you say about VDM going to China to expose those people importing goods and adding excess money on it before selling it? You know, there's this back and forth going on between Very Dark Man and Boyd over iPhone and all of that. And then he's asking a question. He says, what can you say as an importer of those who go to China to import goods and add excess money on it before selling it?
As far as I'm concerned, that question does not arise. So we are in a free, competitive market. Okay. If you feel you want to become an importer, go and import, and we even want competition. Go and import and sell your own the way you import. If you can be able to navigate all the clearing processes and sell your own as cheap as possible, we'll clap for you. You don't know what is the Buddha making noise about. Have you talked about those who imported and lost? Have you talked about some of our importers who import a lot of containers and at the end of it, or they need to make one profit and they don't talk? So the whole lot of that noise, I don't even appreciate it at all. If you want to import something and be able to sell it even below your cost price, all well and good. We appreciate that. But I don't think anybody is exploiting anybody. The essence of competition is that if you see that I'm making profit in this, you go inside and import it and make your own profit, or you bring it down. When there's competition, the goods will come down. That is just my own idea about that. So trying to indict somebody or whatever, the person is saying, nobody force you to come and buy the goods for God's sake. If it's okay for you by the price you buy, if it's not okay for you, you import your own. It's a free business and it's competitive. That's my own take, no thing.
All right, the lines are still open. 0700 903 903 903. It's not connecting. All right, so
this is a Maritime Buddha show with Lily Tommy and Francis Chilaka, and we have as our guest today, Comrade Chedo Kato, the president of Nibamaka Progressive Markets Association.
Yes, hello. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Yes, yeah, good afternoon. This voice always look like the leg. Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
I'm calling you from Abulado. Kenko is my name.
You're welcome, sir. Go ahead.
I greet guests in the studio. Greet everybody. I greet everybody who is listening.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Okay. Thank you, sir. My problem is I want to plead with you. Please let him help and talk to federal government. Federal government or a federal government, all the 36 states, by the grace of God, God has given us a tribe that is, by the grace of God, that is more than other tribe, and that is Igbo. Yes, whether they like it or not. But let the federal government of Nigeria help Igbos by making things easier for them. Because when they begin to charge this, they will sell their goods or higher. Igbos are the number one person in the whole world, business people. But the way they are charging them, that is the way they will sell their this, especially somebody has a question here, how some other people are charging when they bring goods from China. Yes, you cannot eat when they are charging this, I'm going to charge you, the other person charge you, the other one. And the worst governors, the government so far, this so-called APC government,
Sorry, sir. Please, this is on air. You know, he has said you will get back to you. He will answer your questions. Thank you.
Please let them help.
Okay, sir.
So that it will be easy for everybody.
All right.
So that it will go down, market, everything will go down.
Okay, thank you so much. All right. Okay.
Emotional.
Yeah. This message is from Fred. He's asking a very touchy question. I don't know if you're going to be able to have an answer. He says, what has happened that the 40-feet container that was formerly cleared for 5 million naira is now being cleared for 15 or 20 million? What can we do about it?
Am I the one to explain? And that question should be directed to Nigerian Customs Service.
Hello, good afternoon.
And the other agencies.
Hello, good afternoon, welcome to people.
Good afternoon, welcome, sir. This is the
Yeah, it's Dr. Bashir, and I'm so much interested in the activities of the association of your guests.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Permit me to ask you one question.
Go ahead, sir.
As a very hardworking Nigerian, because you made mention of words which I appreciate. Compliance. If we are all compliant in the country, we will not be where we are. Because without compliance, we will not be. In fact, with compliance, we will move forward. May I ask you, can you tell the world a specific corporate social responsibility that his association is able to do to any community that is in nature? And since it is a market association that involves so many traders, we have had an era of COVID-19. We have had an era of a season whereby foodstuff was at a time becoming so hard for the proletariat in area.
Okay.
Hello?
And with the recorded issue, please.
All right. Thank you. He will answer you.
Thank you very much. Can I respond quickly? Thank God you mentioned it. We are a very responsible association of food. During the COVID-19, it is on record that our indigent traders, we shared palliative all over the markets. Rice and everything with indigent. We have indigent traders. We helped them. We assisted them. And we're doing our best. You know about this Zimbabwe boy you are talking about.
Hold on that. I'm coming back to you. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome. Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
My name is Sabina, calling from Ejibo.
All right. Go ahead, sir.
When you ask your guest how to discontent the pot, the answer she give us, I'm not pleased with it. What of it's only Lagos that we have pot. What of worry to discontest the pot? Let another place, Warri, Calabar, the port. Let them. It's only Lagos the port will be existing. Let's discontest the port. The reason he give us that time to clear container under 24 hours, I'm not pleased with it.
Thank you, sir. You are entitled to your opinion.
Yeah.
He's also
You
entitled
should
to his
also
own.
know that the
Thank you,
guest
sir.
here is an importer and a trader. He's not a government official. So his answers are quite valid.
I have my limitations.
Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Hello, sir. Hello. 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 All right. So before the call came in, you were trying to
Yes, I was
talk
trying
of this. You know, this has been something that has God, people's just the phones are just. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon, sir. Welcome to the program. Your name and where you're calling from, sir.
Okay, my name is Fred.
You're welcome, sir.
We should ask the federal government to discuss that to other places, and it shows that Nigeria we are one. When we leave everything in Lagos, it still shows that we are not one. It still shows that there is a discrimination somewhere. But when we collect all those things, we see that all the employment will reduce.
All right. You know, the thing is, people keep asking questions that our guest cannot. Our guest is not the government. Our guest is just here as an importer and somebody who is involved in the maritime sector. So these questions you're asking about, opening other ports, is something far beyond him to answer. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the program.
Good afternoon. I'm Peter from agency.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, my question is this: why all the whole containers who they come from wharf, they come from road center, customs know they catch them on the road when they enter their warehouse, customs they go their warehouse, go to market they trouble them. I want to know what the reason of that.
All right. So I guess we'll answer it. Let's see. Now, this is a very serious question. Have you experienced it when you clear your container to your warehouse and then custom comes to your warehouse to? Have you experienced it, or have your members been experiencing
Yes, my members have experienced it, and these are part of the challenges we are talking about, and these are part of the things we are putting up that we want to engage. You know, we always do this time around, it's a strategic engagement. We engage the customs because they don't know it all. And recently, there was a time some people bought goods from trade fair here, and they were going to Lagos Island. The goods they bought in the market, and they were on the road, and custom intercepted them. And I asked that question: who allowed those goods to come in? Somebody had cleared these goods, somebody allowed these goods to come in, and that person needs to be indicted. Not the goods that have been inside the market. And they will tell me that in SEMA acts that customs are permitted to go into. Yeah. And that will be when there's an information about the dangerous goods or arms or something like that. Okay?
Yes. Good afternoon, sir. Your name and where you're coming from.
There was.
Yeah, this is George calling from member.
Okay. Right.
Since I have been following the program from the onset, and I'm forced to ask the community together as an organization, please, what are they doing to encourage the younger ones to come into importation? And in terms of sensitization, it's problem the government and the agencies to carry them along. How have they been able to also encourage the younger graduates out there who want to go into importation and who does not have the basic knowledge on how to go into importation? How have they had their own feedback or give back to the younger ones out there? How to train them or even encourage them to come into importation? If you should enlighten us, or even maybe are they organizing a program or whatsoever, then we should invite the younger ones who are interested to come into importation to come and learn from them who have been the big fish in the field.
All right. Thank you so much. I think that question he just asked was something you were trying to explain.
Yes, he was trying to answer the question. You were trying to answer the question.
Yes, I was trying to answer
about CSR.
About CSR,
and then you can
our
answer
entrepreneurial issues and our programs. Most of the times we organize programs, we organize sensitization about what we are doing, what trade is all about. Okay?
Hello, good afternoon, sorry. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon, welcome to the program.
My name is Robert.
Robert, you're welcome. Where are you calling from?
Yes, Apapa.
You're welcome, sir.
Sir, I want to know if the government gives custom targets to meet year or a fiscal year, must they meet that target through the Igbo people's container? I don't understand.
Okay, so this program is not about Igbo.
I know, but the way custom pound their container is very. I'm not from there, but I work in the port around the port for many years. I mean, they should do their work. I mean, with open man, and they should not use tribalistic eye to do their job. It's very, very bad.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. So go ahead, sir.
Okay, recently we've been engaging with a lot of banks, doing some strategic engagement on the cost of lending.
Okay.
Cost of lending is very, very important. We've partnered with a lot of banks in terms of giving loans, soft loans to our members to be able to trade and return. Even we offer to be guaranteed to such loans.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Your name and where you're calling from, please. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Afternoon, sir.
This is Mr. David from Italia.
Please go ahead, sir.
Just like the last caller, the question has been asked. If the government of the day just started the containers for the custom to meet up with their I know this is not one the point of the discussion today. And my brother in the studio, there's a question that somebody asked. And that person asked, why is the congestion? And the way you answer, even me, I'm not okay with that. Because it seems like, or it just looks like it's only Lagos port that is working. And when you look at the majority of containers or the importers that comes in, including from the Igbo tribe, people have been suffered. Then concerning the VDN, going to China and come back and give report that things are cheap there. I don't know how many containers that it went in with. Because when you are doing something, there's one man that called, I guess that must be a Yoruba man. That man said, when you add anything about the clearing, you add everything in your shop, then you believe that what you are doing is against the Igbo man. Remember, Igbo man, someone like me now, my people are not in Lagos. Then when I clear my goods, I have to make profit. So it goes back to you. Then let me know you, sir, for the people to contribute that one. Well done.
Thank you. All right, go ahead, sir. Go on with your thoughts.
Okay, I was talking about the CSR and how we've been encouraging. I was talking about our engagement with some of the banks. And there are certain issues we should know that go beyond us. We are engaging on government on this lending rate. Okay. We're engaging on government with this lending rate because we can't encourage these young ones to come and take loan and do something you cannot be able to pay back. Okay. And when you come to the markets, our organization is umbrella body of major markets. We can't be in your house and know when you want to trade or when you don't want to trade. It's when you approach us that we want to trade. We have such a program, we have such a committee. We have some of our people. Recently, you know that this is our Igbo boy that we started as an Igbo man, Igbo boy. When you go to somebody to settle you, when you want to approach somebody and you want to do a business, you approach us. If you approach us, we can be able to fix you where you do your business. And concerning somebody that mentioned about CSR, we consulted most of our markets by ourselves. The government did not consult markets by ourselves. We consulted the toilets. We make the roads. We do everything meaningfully well for the traders to thrive. So this is a part of our. And recently, you should know that we partnered with Chinkan Command to build a primary school somewhere in Ajegule. That is enough CSR. And during the COVID, yes, it was in the Bamaka Progress Market Association partnered with Chinkan Allied Command to consult that, to make sure that we offer qualitative education. That's part of our CSR. So there are many more things which I cannot list that we are coming up with. But all we are saying is that let there be conducive environment for trade so that we can be able to generate this one and help the society the way we can.
Yeah, hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Yeah. I beg. Yes, okay, is my name again. My name. I beg. Can I plead with this Awanga? If you take this bill to Calabar, to Nisha, to Warri, to apply to, so that there should be people there, so that this slavery in Lagos that we our people shout and shout, we are slaves to them here. We finish, we will not be there. If you say, go to your state now, but I think we don't have any home at all. If you people go and do this, at least you have people there. All our things will go there, it will be very, very important. And again,
Don't die, don't cry. Don't die, don't cry. Things will work out for you.
Please, we should help ourselves.
Okay. Well, I mean, what we will do, what we can guarantee is that our guest, with his association, will be able to communicate the yearnings and desires of Nigerians who are asking that other seaports be opened up. But it's not something that he would sit down here and tell you it is possible.
I have a question for you, sir. As regards said, you mentioned something about if you're building your market.
Hello, good afternoon. Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Ruben. I'm calling from Munisundare.
Okay, you're welcome, sir.
Yeah, I'm also talking of, people who complain of how it costs expensive items that are imported, but it all ends on government table because the city is because of all those charges. No government charge. It costs us so much for them to collect them after they start to bounce back on the item, and the citizens keep on complaining. So as in they bought a thing on the part of government, so the part of goods to come down. That's just my own consideration.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So I was going to ask, you build markets. What's your reaction to the recent development, the demolition of the markets at the trade fair, sir? It's part of the market series.
Yeah. It's very, very simple. People tend to misinterpret or misunderstand what's going on there. Lagos Trade Fair Complex belongs to federal government of Nigeria.
Yes.
And we know by whatever that the lands belong to state government, from what they're saying.
Yeah, land use.
Now, but by the time we came into that place and built that very place, all allocations in terms of fiscal plan and everything is being obtained by the Trade Fair Management Board under federal government. Okay? So everybody there has their approval. Those markets have their approval. All of a sudden, Lagos State government came up and said they had a judgment with federal government, which says that all physical planning belongs to the state. Although most of us are not aware of that judgment, but nobody is questioning that. And nobody is saying you are not going to get approval. But the misunderstanding there is that we are now saying, fine, if it is the state government, then how do we now reconcile those who have gotten approval already from federal government? And about this one, because you can't expect us to have double approval. That is just a simple situation. And this issue now lies between federal government and state government to resolve. Not even coming about. But it seems that some people misunderstood it, or even Lagos State government. And if in the last conference I made a statement there, and I said, any dangerous utterance coming against the Lagos State government from any individual attacking Lagos State government or attacking federal government is not from us. Our own is purely logical. We want federal government and state government to resolve on this issue because we are not going to get a double approval.
Okay, sir. Hold your thoughts. I'm going to ask you a very interesting question. You said anybody, but who is demolition? The people will hold responsible the man who is demolishing their property, and it is their right to also.
Yes, maybe you don't understand what I'm saying.
No, you said that anybody is not your association, but it is also your association that should fight for those whose property are being demolished.
What I mean, there are people who are making other insinuations about what I'm explaining. Okay. We condemned the act of coming, in the midnight or early in the morning to come and demolish without proper procedure or services or whatever. Yeah. We condemn that outrightly. But there are some people who are capitalizing on that to even quote what we say or what not to fuel insinuation and fuel crisis. That's what I'm saying. It is very clear that we said we condemn the demolition, and at the same time, if demolition was done as a result of approval or no approval, then there are very ways that we can look at this and we can sit down together and work it out. Nobody knows it all. And how are we going to work it out? If me and you are fighting, somebody can be somewhere making all transit that we attributed to us. It looks like we, but our own is very straightforward. These things you did, it is wrong at this very point. But we are not saying you don't have right to do it. But you must do it in a friendly and in a more cordial way that is understandable. Now, that was it.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Hello?
Afternoon, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
I'm Mr. Roland from Satellite Town.
Okay, sir. Go ahead, sir.
You see, this importation and all these things, the way the government is doing it is very bad. We are no more in business. Too much taxes everywhere.
Are you
You
an
come,
importer, sir?
yes, I'm an importer. It drove us out of importation. You know, before you can pay a 40 feet container, you pay almost 20 million. And when you after clearing the goods on the road, you start paying. Even at times they will just take your container to Ikeja. Tell you that they are suspecting the container you paid for everything, paid well, the normal duties, they will just take it to Ikeja, tell you that they will come, there is something they see inside it, and then before you know it, if you are not careful, if you are not if you don't have a contact, they will sell your container off. Eh? What type of nonsense is this? And we people are suffering. And once they sell their container, you don't have any boss, no government, no agency, nobody will help you out.
Sir, what did they say was wrong with what you imported? What was in your container?
No, if that is like after the when they after importation, after getting their goods, you sell it to people. Then if they see any contraband, in the cost of your goods, taking it to either to another state. If they will buy two here, buy two. They will just carry the whole goods, take to Ikeja.
Okay, your container is usually group page.
Yeah, yes, at times group page, at times full container. Well, once they take it to Ikeja, and let me tell you, once they take it to Ikeja, if you don't have any contact, there are people there, they are there for just any goods they brought, they are there to pay the money, and they carry their goods out, and if you come, they will tell you they don't know what you are talking.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, answer your question. I have a question to ask in line with this.
So what I'm saying, let me say it here once again, that the issue there is about federal government and state government. I don't know why when to elephant find the grass will suffer. If you have a judgment that fiscal allocation, not well and good. What I'm saying that people who don't know anything about it stop making comments. We are not even supposed to be part of it. We are supposed to be asking federal government questions. We got approval from you. Another people are seeking for approval. We need federal government to talk to us and tell us what actually is the situation.
But has the federal government?
The federal government has not spoken. And we up to now we are pushing the federal government to say. So nobody is saying that he's not going to do approval or the state government has no right. But no. What we are saying is, if you say you're the one who has that right, are we going to do double approval? What about the one that has been done? Federal government and state government sit down and sort out this thing out. If possible, set up a joint committee, let us resolve these things. And if it is now state government, going forward, we'll start getting approval from state government. Yes, if it is established, it's federal government. Leave it to federal government.
Good afternoon, we can hear you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This is Mr. Paul from Yolasa.
You're welcome, sir.
Yes, please, Chilaka, I love this program. I don't know who is your person down there or who is who you are asking questions.
His name is Chinedu Kato.
Okay, Chinedu.
Yeah, Chinedu Kato.
Okay. I've been listening to you, especially what you said in the last, when somebody, he was trying to explain people's feelings and utterances in respect of the, demolitions. I want to let you know from what I have, heard from you now, every damn thing in this country is being politicized. That's your guest there talking like a politician. Look at what he has said now. Leaving we ordinary Nigerians that are hurt by that destruction, to be stupid. Now, why can you warn there now that everybody that is talking, that you should know what is talking, is exactly what has happened between Fubara and the people of Nigeria and those of Rivers State. When people are fighting for Fubara, he is distancing himself from what they are doing for him. That's exactly what that man has done now. Let them come out, let every other Nigerian who is crying or very bitter about that demolition go away. Those people there, they know what they are doing. Thank you so much. Let others talk. Thank you very much.
Yes, let me react quickly. Maybe you did not understand, just like I was trying to correct. I was not referring to Nigerians. I said every right thing, we appreciate every person who has that. But there are some utterances that are being quoted out of context. That is exactly where I'm going. But those who are condemning demolition, yes, we are in tandem with that. But what we are saying is what I'm clarifying now. For those who don't understand the real issue that we are fighting for, whether they precise it or they don't precise it, what we are saying is federal government and state government, please sort out your problem and not stop coming to our market to demolish it. When you sort out your problem, tell us where we need to stand on.
Okay.
That is it.
Hello, good afternoon.
Well,
Yeah, welcome. Your name, please.
I want to ask questions.
Go ahead, sir.
Please, let's say they say 20 million naira that they are paying for a custom. Is for their security? What purpose is that 20 million is all about? What purpose?
Which 20 million, sir?
It's actually 50
It's
million.
20 million for the clearing of the container. What purpose?
Are you a clearing agent, sir?
I'm not a clearing agent, but the thing is getting complicated. Why are they collecting 20 million for what they are doing? Like, they don't have any business with that. Collect 20 million.
No, sir. They have business with it. The federal government has to collect tariff on any
What is their business? Are they the security that guide the thing from the water? What are they the ship owner? What exactly is their business?
Okay, you need to understand a little bit of how government works, how government gets revenue, please. But I can tell you for a fact that the federal government has a right to collect tariff on anything that you import, you bring into the country. Even some exports, you pay excise for exports. So that is it.
About 20 million is too much.
All right, no problem, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just wanted to ask you a question to dovetail into what the other man was asking before.
Sorry. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tobacco.
Good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
I think it's Mr. David once again.
Okay.
Yes, I just want to just like what the caller before the last caller called. It's like the person that's supposed to come for this program, maybe doesn't have chance to do it as a government agent. Like this one now is a businessman. He's a businessman like me. He's not representing us well. Because he's not there, that's not the government side. The question, there's some question you will ask, he will tell you is government agent are supposed to answer. Then why is it the student?
Well, it's answering the question from the point of view of an importer and a trader, not as a government person. It's not a government person.
Well, fair to understand.
That is what I said. That is what I said.
Yes,
he's a businessman.
My brother, I'm here as an importer and representative of the importers and the businessmen. So I'm supposed to answer from my own perspective. Any issue that concerns government, we are pressurizing government to do what they are supposed to do. And we'll answer from our own. We can't answer, say government must do this because we are not government. We can't think that. We are saying this is what we want. And if government refuses to do that, I don't think we can fight them. We'll continue to pressure them. I'm here as a businessman, like you rightly mentioned, as an importer, and to talk from our own perspective as it affects us.
And besides we are trying to bring government people to this show to give their own perspectives on issues.
Exactly. When they come and when they hear what we say, they will come, they will bring them, they will come and they tell them.
That is what I said. Like the previous one that the prince has been presenting. You understand? The way they talk, those people are from the government side of it. But this my brother, and like the one he said, people should not complain about demolition. It's not the...
No, he never said so.
No, okay, thank you. Let other people... I think we're getting close to a scare, gradually...
I ask him a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask. The person I asked the question before was making an insinuation about some goods, maybe some containers, sometimes they are being forced to go into overtime or one way or the other, the person will not be able to clear so that they can be sold off. Have you ever experienced this?
They can be forcing the contract to go to overtime so that can be sold off.
Yes, yeah.
Well, if actually I'll tell you the fact, I've heard about things like that, but I've not experienced that. And nobody has brought that case officially. So I've heard about that, but personally I've not experienced that. But I have not seen anybody who has brought such an issue officially. Okay. But I believe that going forward, if we have such an issue, well, that's what we want to engage on. And I want to finally say for those our callers.
Could you hold on one second? Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Chilaka and Tommy. Uh, well done, well done, well done.
Your name,
Good
sir?
afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Martins from Ago.
Okay, sir.
I only want to point out one of the things I observed again today. The man from Shibas Council, he called before. He called actually and was querying your guest, and also querying your studio and your program being biased and being biased. That man, please, what is his role in Shibas Council? Bring him to the studio because that man is even more biased than even the people who is accusing of being biased. For 2 or 3 times I have seen him call or respond. His line of thought and the way he speaks does not strike me like a real government representative. Bring him to the studio. Let's talk with him. Let's ask him questions.
We're working on bringing Shippers Council. Don't worry, we'll do that.
Yeah, one of these days they'll be here.
I think I would have preferred the situation if I'm privileged to be here, that one of those people, the Chippers Council, those government agencies will be face me head on.
We've been trying to bring that.
So we'll come on and then I will talk, we'll challenge it because we're in the field, they're on the government side. So all this is we are talking their phone, it doesn't make any sense. They will be here and I will be here because I'm in the field, I know what to go. Like the man I got from Chippers Council, I will be backed up with facts here, I will be armed with facts and documents. I'll come here and they'll prove to us what they've been doing and they'll prove to all of them. I think that is the better thing. And then finally, before further question, let me still clarify. For those of you who say you cannot be more Catholic than the Pope, we are the ones who the demolition affected. And I can't say that you destroy my something, I will tell you not to shout. You misunderstood. There are people who are in government and not in government who misinterpreted what is going on. And I said, those people should not be talking for us. They shouldn't be misinterpreting what is going on. Now, this is our own position. This is what we are saying. We've condemned what happened and condemned after. Then going forward, whether it's political or whatever, we don't want to know again because they should resolve their issue and stop facing us alone. And that's what we stand. They should resolve their issue. And if they fail to resolve their issue, then they should leave or let us trade in peace. So people should not misunderstand what I said. I'm not referring to those who are saying, no. How can you be supporting me in a struggle and I will be condemning what you're saying? Maybe they misunderstood it. We said, federal government, state government, resolve your issue and tell us the way to go. As simple as ABCD. We can pay double approval. Thank you.
Yeah, this is the Maritime and Border Show on VOP 90.3 FM. My name is Prince Chilaka and
my name is Dele Utomi.
And we've had Comrade Chinedu Ukatu with us, analyzing issues, trying to dive into the relationship between the customs, the importers, and the marketers. But I'm going to take you back, sir, on a question. How effective has the boy? How effective has it been, considering the present economic realities?
Well, it has been very tough. In fact, over time, you observe that the issue of one boy is going down. If you go into the market, most of them now are employing secretaries. Because if you can come to your house to pick your son or whatever to be my one boy now, some of them will decline. In fact, some of them will come overnight. They want to be richer than you. So the way the country is going and the hardship in the country is making this ability to get more syndrome. So, and the greed is taking over most of those things. So it's not like the one boy of those days doing as much as we are still trying, reaching to them, talking to them. That was why I told people that we're engaging some of these banks, so that if some of these people, by the time they want to get settled and they don't have money to settle them as a result of the economic hardship or meltdown, they can be able to accept some soft loans and settle those boys. Because when you look at it, some of the people are complaining 20 million naira to create a container, 50 million naira to do this, 30 million to do this. By the time you finish this, how much are you selling? How much do you get? And by the time you get to the time for settle the one boy, because of the challenges in the trade field, you may not be able to meet up. So instead of you picking like 3, 4 one boy, you end up picking one. It's affecting us negatively. And the other one is the greedy aspect of it. And that greedy aspect of it, as a result of the economic hardship too, everybody wants to meet up. They want to meet with the challenges and financial pressure at the same time. So that's how it's affected.
What about the other aspect of it, the other factors? Maybe the Waboy system of training, we should be refined more. Maybe the number of years at the stage should be reduced. And probably other incentives should come in order to encourage young people to come in and
What are you searching that you want to give one boy that if you can teach me, let me know the searching.
I have a question, and this is a question that I know a lot of people would want to ask. Why is it that each time it gets close to settlement of the boy, some of their masters would come up with different charges, different accusations to impede that freedom?
That is these are individual differences.
Yeah,
These are individual differences. We can saw it's a personality trait. Some people, as a result of their character, they are naturally wicked, and some people, as a result of natural situations or this that something can come up. So it's an individual thing. There are some people who are like that, but we can't generalize it. It's not, we can't say why is it like, because it's not a general thing. Somebody might want to settle, but as a lot of it, he has some challenges in his business, and he won't go and steal. He will tell the one boy to hold on. Some people, as a result of greed or wickedness, may decide to punish the one boy out for one thing or the other. There are a lot of challenges, but you cannot generalize it and say the one boys have been settled, most of them are doing well. But in all, even in your family, in your house, there are challenges when it comes to personality trait or individual differences. So you don't generalize it. You know, it is not like you put it, why is it, as if it's a normal occurrence that everybody knows.
Yeah, because a lot of people have been talking about it. If
yes, hardship costs most of these things sometimes, just like a daily act me. And I'm importing 40-feet container every month. And in 3 months, I cannot be able to import, and I have one boy. And I've not been able to import. In fact, I imported 3, and I've not been able to sell half of the container. And my next one boy has 2 months to settle. And for 4 months, I used to sell every month, and for 4 months, I've not sold. And when it gets the time for where do you expect me to get money to settle him? He has to hold on, let me sell. The hardship we are talking about, all the bottlenecks in cool branches in clearing that hijack this tariff that makes it, these are the resultant effects we are talking about. Because from head it goes down. If I don't have one boy, will not receive. This is another factor to it. Another factor is to it, which is 1 or 2%, are those who are naturally greedy. Or maybe they have one thing or the other. And the other part of it is maybe you heard about some fire disasters happening in some of this market. What if God forbid, I'm planning to settle my one boy next month, and there's a natural occurrence like fire disaster and fire burn? You are not there to know what happened. But I'll be there not seeing my wounds and my injury. And the one boy will not see the wounds and an injury again.
In this case, there's no such thing as a force majeure. As in, it's not your fault. It's
not everybody's fault, and what do you do?
All right. Thank you. This is VOP 90.3 FM. We've been speaking with Comrade Chinedu Okatu. We're rounding up. This is it's been a very interesting time we spent with him, talking about traders, talking about importers, and talking about their relationship with government agencies. You know, next week Sunday is another date with us. Tune in. And I hear there's a repeat broadcast of this program every Monday, I think Monday and Wednesdays, and we're open to adverts. If you want to advertise in this program, feel free to call 08036929933, or you can send a WhatsApp message to 081-717-56338. All you need to do is just say you want to advertise on Maritime and Border Show. Once more, listeners, thank you for listening. My name is Prince Chilaka, and I'm signing out.
My name is David Butoni. Good day.